you ever wanted to have a project, a hot rod, something you can work on the weekends, something to enjoy for the future, to give away to your kids, your grandkids, something like that? Well, today I'm going to give you the blueprint on how to do it on the cheap, on a budget, things you can do, simple tools. You can do this. So let's talk about it. Okay, first things first. So why a square body? Well, for me, it's because this is what I know. I'm a Chevy guy, always been a Chevy guy. Now, you guys know I got the Ford, the Mustang for Christina, but this is me. This is what I love. I love these trucks, okay? And I love them because they're affordable. You can still get parts for them. Everything's mechanical. There's no electronics besides the distributor, and it's just an electronic distributor. There's no tuning. There's no fuel injection. There's nothing on this that I can't fix myself with a simple set of tools. I grew up on. These are the ones that I saw all my friends driving when I was a teenager and a young person, and this is just what it is. They're full framed. They're built tough. That doesn't really matter what you're into, whether it's Fords, Dodge, Chevy, what it is. There are affordable options for these vehicles. Camaros, Mustangs, there are options. You don't have to shell out a ton of money to get a good, decent starter build. Something you can tear apart, make it the way you want, and enjoy it for a long time. And like I was saying, these things are easy to work on. I have a simple set of tools. Now, I have a torque wrench, I have a ball joint tool, I have stuff like that, but pliers, wrenches, screwdrivers, that's pretty much all you need to work on this truck, to fix anything on it. Now, I happen to have an air compressor in the garage that helped me with the body work, but you can do it with electric tools. My pad sander is a prime example of that. I did probably 50% of this work with that pad sander, and it's electric. It just does, 1/3 sheet pad sander. It's completely doable. There is no wrong way to build what you want. Budget. All right, budget for something like this, okay? I have a number in my head, and it's not a big number. And I got 2 trucks for a good price, and one with a title, one didn't. So I use that for parts, and that's how I've done a lot of this. It's taking parts off, taking 2 or 3 really cheap parts trucks and making one good one out of it, and having a bunch of parts left over for the next time around. Okay, so it's doable, and you can do that in any situation with any car. It's just hot rodding. It's, everybody has that one car they always wanted, and it's out there. You can do it. Next is knowing what you're getting into, okay? Now, that Mustang that I got it on a trade, okay? But this thing, I paid money for it. And I know over the years of working on these things where the trouble spots are. I'm going to have to replace cab corners. I'm going to have to do rear bed corners. I'm going to have to do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to have to do several specific jobs on each one of these I bring home. Hey, if you're here and you're watching, smash that like button. It really helps the channel out. I would really appreciate it. Y'all have a good day. Okay. Now, drivetrain and modifications, all right? Mechanical is always going to be more reliable, no matter what. Mechanical fuel pump, mechanical carburetor, mechanical distributor, mechanical. It's so much easier to fix and deal with and work on. It's all goes right down to the premise of from the beginning: air, fuel, and fire. But when you're dealing with sensors, dozens and dozens of sensors, and everything having to be, and one little broken wire can make everything die. That's not good. If this thing dies, just going down the road and dies, I'm checking the plug-in on the distributor to make sure it didn't rattle itself loose. I'm checking for fire. I'm checking to see, I'm pulling the cap to see if I got a burnt rotor bug. It's a very short list. It's a very short list when something like this shuts off. Okay. It really is. There's 60s and 70s stuff is really just a hoot to work on. And like I've been saying, along with everything else, there's just the regular maintenance stuff. The brakes, the ball joints, the U-joints, the greasing everything, making sure everything is getting lubricated. You know, it's just general maintenance, which is the biggest part of what these things, if they've been sitting in the weeds for a long time, they've just been ignored. Okay. And when they ignored, things rust. And when things rust, things quit moving. It's just a matter of getting everything back and getting it lubricated again and getting it working, you know. It's just a labor of love. If you truly love your hot rods, it is something you can't wait to get done with the week's work and get to. That's just all there is to it. It's just, there's nothing better than turning the world off and grabbing a wrench and fixing something and getting that self-satisfaction of, I did that. I just fixed that. That's working now because of me. Not because I paid somebody to fix it and bring it back to me. It's because I did it. This is mine. I'm building it the way I want it to be built. Now, don't get me wrong. No, I'm not against fuel injection. I have my tow rig, and it's fuel. It's a 5.3, and it's fuel injected, you know, and it's overdrive, and it's a tow pig. I drive it every day, and I love it. Okay, it's my best friend, sitting right over there. See, right over there. That's my buddy. He's with me every day. Okay, but I still really, 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 really enjoy the mechanicalness of it. I'm going to say it over and over again. You know, these are just, it's fun to make them the way you want them. The only bad side about an old small block or big block with a carburetor is you're not going to get any mileage. When you're doing it, you're not building something like this for mileage. You're not. Okay, mileage is nice, you know, but you're not building that for mileage. You're just not. I got to put a seat in it and a dash in it, a dash pad, and finish the wiring up, and I'm driving it around. She stays under temperature. She idles good. She brakes good. She steers good. I gotta get a front end alignment on it because I just kind of eyeballed it with tape measure. It ain't, you can feel it when you're driving it up and down the cul-de-sac. Practicality, okay. On actual, I'm not going to even have an amount of a down payment on a new truck in this truck, driving it around and enjoying it. Not even the amount of a down payment of cash invested in that truck. I'm seeing this. I got sticker shock on the new trucks. Oh my God. It's just, okay. I paid less for my first house than a new truck is now. This is going to be fun and it's cheap. It's budget friendly. It really is, especially if you put everything back mechanical. You put everything back factory direct. You know, the parts are cheap. They're available. And it just I don't think unless I hit the lottery, I'll never buy a new truck. Now, if you want to, you can spend a lot of money on all the Primo stuff, but you don't have to, not to enjoy it. You really don't. You can do this on a budget. And then the one last thing is nothing new. I don't care what you say. There isn't an LS in the world that sounds like this. Yeah. And that's been sitting for 10 days. This truck's been sitting out here for 10 days. I didn't even pump it. I just hit the key and it fired off. That's what it's all about. All right. So if you're still here, like, share, and subscribe. Smash that like button. Hit that like button because it really helps a bunch. Y'all have a great day. Because a great day today could mean your dreams come to reality with a lot of hard work and a lot of time and a little bit of money. Y'all be good.